Evening all, how we doing? It's all sorted out. How's things? Hope we're all having a good week. Crikey, it's been bloody hot here this week. But it's still quite warm today and very humid, but it has dipped a bit today, so it's kind of bearable. I wasn't sure at about 6 o'clock. I was like, this might be another unbearable evening, so I might be I was on the fence at about that point. But over the half an hour following that, temperature dipped, so... yeah, temperature dipped, so I was actually able to go like, okay, it might be manageable in here. Still pretty bloody warm, but... And then it's going to go back up again over the next few days, so... Yay! Oh well, we'll survive, maybe, possibly. Rather melty at the moment, and I've been hiding for that reason. So, we'll see how we get on today, and if I start dying or, you know, generally run out of patience, because Fallout's been rather pissing me off lately. Or rather, I've not had the usual level of patience for the BS, just because everything they're doing with it is pretty much awful at the moment. The building thing is looking quite cool, but everything else is, yeah, dreadful. So, yeah, my tolerance is an all-time low. And also, the stuff they're not doing is fairly obviously a big fucking oversight as well. But we'll see whether or not that swings the other way in December. Anyway, all that to say, we'll see how we get on. We're going to play it by ear tonight. I've got the mini-season to look at, which is going to be a whole bunch of fishing. So we'll see how we do there and stuff. And I've got a lot of challenges to do. So that should be fine. Yeah, the fishing may or may not bore me to tears, so if it does, we'll probably, well, yeah, I won't be aiming to do all of it tonight, I don't think. As I have said, the fishing system in 76 is just about the best one I think I've ever seen. However, fishing systems are all still really boring, so what can you do? Even the best one is still boring. Anywho, so, I did have a brief look earlier in the week at the Atomic Shop because I was trying to get some footage, and yeah, that went pretty fucking poorly as well. I got pissed off with that and jacked it in quite quickly as well. Looking for best builds, and it just kept dumping me into worlds in the middle of the night, and several times it repeated the same server over and over, and I was just like, you know what? Normally I spend a good few hours rummaging through for footage. I managed about 25 minutes of this crap and was just like, nah, fuck this. Just walked away. It's just not fucking worth it. So, yeah, they need to do better. Oh, yeah, I remember the Corvega stuff. I looked at this and went, nah, to that as well. It's an interesting idea, But the foundation, I don't know how I feel about that, especially with the slanted glass windows. I don't know. I think design in general is quite a cool idea. Two levels is quite cool as well. You could definitely do something with a single self-contained base there, camp there. I think you could do some fun stuff with that. On the other hand, yeah, it's a one and done thing. I would never use it again, and I'm not that bothered about doing it. The Corvega posters aren't bad, but yeah, everything else is just nah. No, thank you. I've got most of the farming stuff. I use a lot in the camp that you'll see in just a minute. You should have seen already if you've been watching the videos. Oh, there's some good stuff here, and they're great to see. It's rustic greenhouse kit's definitely worth picking up. That's actually kind of worth it, I think. Clean mannequins, and then that center throne, which I'd never use. For that little, though. Do I need clean mannequins? No, not really. Screw it. I'll hold on to the atoms. What we got here? Machine paint, camera paint, big boy paint, and skin for the lever action rifle. Yeah, not bothered about that. Lunchbox, don't wonder about that. Deep Cave Hunter ones, a bit boring. That's the Fallout First freebie this month, the farm stand. These are a really cool idea, but actually putting anything on the surfaces is near impossible in live servers at the moment. You can get maybe one thing on there if you blueprint it, and everything else jumps up to the top. Assuming that works at all. Like several of these, because there's a whole bunch of similar ones, just plain don't work. So once the building update goes live next month, it'll be absolutely fine, because you'll be able to just free place things on it, and that'll be problem solved, I think, mostly. I think. But as it currently is on live, they're basically unusable. I feel like they kind of half-arsed it because they knew that the update was coming along and it would fix the problems for them. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit cynical at the moment about Fallout, but yeah, I probably am just a little bit cynical, but it does feel that way, so yeah. No doing earlier. Right, have I caused the axolotl yet? Maybe. I don't know. I'll have a look. I've been hearing Ohio is particularly hot and humid at the moment. So I can imagine it's not the only place that's in a similar situation to that. Yeah. Yeah, because I had, as per usual, one eye on the tennis this week. So Cincinnati is where my attention has been focused. Say one eye on the tennis. I've had one eye on the tennis scores because the broadcast arrangement over here sucks balls. So you're right next door. Yeah, I'm not surprised you got pretty much the same weather then, Aaron. Just a short jaunt away. A bit northeast, aren't you? At least in relation to Cincinnati, anyway. It's further down the south. Am I right on that? It's further down the south end of Ohio, I think. I did vaguely look at this on the map just to get my head around roughly where it was. Anyway, if you haven't seen this, you should totally check out the build video. Here is my garden centre that I built. I'm quite happy with. It looks like a garden centre. Had to improvise a bit with the checkouts there, seeing as I didn't have the correct ones. The ones from the bundle, rather. The Super Duper Mart ones. Got the SD on it. It makes me want to say Sunny Delight. But yeah, that works. And we've got some stuff that's vaguely garden related over here on sale. It's one of the things that does suck about this place is it always gets attacked though. This particular location. Super mutants, robots and Scorch are the three most common ones. Don't see anything. And because the picture is... Yeah. Frame rate's just flicker, 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 flicker all the time. Why is it locked to... What is it doing all the way down there? Frame rate's shit right now in general. Should be in the 80 odds and it's not. What are you doing, Fallout? Why are you sitting in 60 odd FPS when you should be easily in the 70s to 80s? I don't like this. Some shit is going down. I'm going to go for a short jog, and if it continues the way I fear it will, I may have to play with it. Oh, wait, no, I climbed up then again. Okay. Just a busy-ass camp here that's doing it. That's okay, I'll let it off for that. There is a lot of shit going on here. Anyway, we've got lots and lots of challenges to do, so I do need a whole bunch of tickets and stuff, not just for this season, but also for the last few bits of the main scoreboard as well, which we are running low on time on, and I really need to pull my finger out on. Do a bit of grinding on the other hand. Floor, wall, or decoration in a workshop or camp. Do that. I've got a workshop, claim a workshop. Radex. Coal I'm not going to do. Plastic will be fine. More miner's head. Be fine. That wood, that'll be easy. Kill an enemy in the ash heap. Yeah, we can do that. Your mates are lying over there in small pieces. Did you not get the memo? Clearly not. Oh, those frames are awful. Where are we? Oh, you were working on that one. Feline, how's it going? Challenges. Come on, brain, work. So, where do I Radex? Click teddy bears, daily ops. Not doing that, I don't think. Probably not, anyway. Maybe. Cool super mutants limbs. Eat vegetables. I fucking hate that. At least it's easy. Helpers and scorched. Antiseptic. That's vaguely annoying to do, I think, but I think I can probably do it. Yeah, I can. It's vaguely annoying. Yeah, I'm going to re-roll of daily ops because that's just... Cannot be bothered with that. Snallies, okay, that's easy. Yes, I know there's a bunch of stuff on sale at the moment on Steam. I'm waiting on most of it, actually. It's a mixed bag. Timing is not right. Okay. And then we've got the event challenges after that, which we'll probably have a look at separately, because we've got a shitload of stuff to do there. I'm actually wearing the hat for this. I should be wearing it already. Yes, I am. There's the hat. There's the sun. It's over that way somewhere. It's a look. I think we can agree it's a look. How are we doing, right? Right, so... Whoopers, I feel, might take a little bit of effort. And Snallies maybe too. I want to go pull again, don't I? Okay, it's a long old list. This should be workable. We have a bunch of fishing to do, though. Anybody else? I think we got them all. Don't see any more hanging out here. Literally. Let's start. Get a couple more down here. Okay, cool. And after that, I might have to come back later because I can't remember anywhere else to find gulpers reliably. There's a what's it event? Assuming it even comes up, of course. Moonshine Jamboree, but it's too long, too slow, and there's too much copyright music on it. So I tend to avoid that one like the plague. Right. Toxic Larry's for Snallies. Yeah, they certainly do sneak up on you sometimes. Right, off to a good start there. Bloody train yard. Aftermath of our fist fight with the mole. First time I ran into that guy who was coming at me unarmed, so stood and fought him fist to fist. I had a rifle build at the time, so it took a while. About a year ago, actually. Right. Kept your head down, you might have got away with that then. Gotcha. And just one more to go. Your favourite cryptid, Phelan? I know what my favourite cryptid would be. They are an interesting thing, that is for sure. Probably the sheep squatch, to be honest. Would be my favourite, I think. Not least of all because the way in which it was introduced was really well done. Right, I need to cripple a bunch of super mutant limbs. That'll be easy to do at Manhunt, won't it? At least, probably. As easy as it's going to get, anyway. They did such a good job of introducing this sheep squatch back in the day. Created quite the air of mystery around it. Fuck off. Every fucking time. that counted or not, but aim for the head. At least there's a decent chance of crippling. No. Does that count? It's in pieces. It probably does count. Oh, I haven't turned the music on. Back when my brain was telling me it was quiet, I couldn't think why. All the voices. Left over from my recording videos.
Hey, you disappear. No fair.
Yeah, that makes sense, feeling. I also remember encountering a Wendigo for the first time. The first time I saw one, it was walking along a road in the ash heap. I can't remember if I managed to let it continue walking on by or if I got absolutely effed by it, but I can still picture the incident. Gotcha. I will simply take it all. That'll be much easier. Well, I think we've got over the line with all of the super mutants. We've got a lot of them. Oh, there actually is some armor on that one. Oh, well. Having a workshop. Am I anywhere near a convenient workshop? One's not too much faff to claim. Don't I need to eat vegetables? I do, so we'll do several birds with one stone down here. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to meet one in real life, Torf, that's for sure. I don't think there's a great deal of things in Fallout I'd be in a rush to meet in real life. Oh, fuck yourself. It hasn't respawned because I haven't played enough time on a private server for it to go, okay, now we'll reset the plants. Because I just don't want to play that much at the moment. Not Fallout anyway. Couple more in here, huh? Any more there aren't? How many do I need to eat? I need 5. $12, $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $20, $25. Yeah, the Vicaya. It's a striped axolotl this time around, isn't it? Yeah, I think I haven't picked it up yet. Right. What was it? Floral wall decoration. That should be easy enough then. Right. Another one down. Need a couple of... We need some more super mutants. Some mole miners. Scorched. I think I saw, yeah, 5 enemies in the ash heap. So more miners and 5 enemies in the ash heap. Would be a good bet for that. That'd be a good spot. Yes, they have definitely made the build menu easier to navigate. I can tell you that much on BTS. It will take some adjusting to, obviously, because it's a complete overhaul and it doesn't look anything like it did before. But they have definitely made it easier. They've been working on some stuff behind the scenes recently, but it hasn't been the things that a lot of people are asking for, and they absolutely need to get right. So that's kind of annoying. They've also been fixing some other things that they did need to get right, so... Yeah, I guess we can't have everything, although... Kind of don't care, I want everything anyway. Oh, that was clearly... Oh good, I did get the head. Well, that's the ash heap kills. This is going alright now, isn't it? Teddy bears. Okay, we'll get a bunch of those at Camden Park. Yeah, definitely less. If you want to have a look at the new build system, by the way, not the build that went up this weekend, but the previous builds before that, which are marked as being PTS builds, will show you the system, and there's also a stream available, which you should be able to find on the live tab, because it's publicly listed, as opposed to my usual unlisting most of them. And I did a load of building when the PTS first opened up, so you can have a look at me figuring it out there if you want to watch the VOD on that. Antiseptic, plastic, teddy bears, runaway of Radex, scorched. A bunch of scorched ball in there, can't I? In the numbers a little bit. This way. Do I think it'll spark some more life at it? I think it'll probably encourage me to do a bit more building in general. Still requires themes and concepts and stuff. So that'll hold me back a bit, as it always does, while I'm scratching my head over what I want to build. But I'll enjoy it more when I do build it. Whatever it may be. It's the everything else that's the problem, though. The building, even the old building system I could live with. I'm happy about the changes, don't get me wrong. But still, it's everything else and around that that's just... shit, I think is the word at the moment. This bollocks of let's go and make everything a power fantasy is really just pandering to the lowest common denominator in my view. It's fucking awful. Stupidest fucking decision I've ever heard. No, that's exaggerating a bit, but I can think of a few others very quickly that are worse. But it's still pretty damn dumb in my view. Super Mutants, Scorch, Effects, Teddy Bears. Do the teddy bears for now. Brigand's Fort, the place to go. Yeah, another way from Brigand's Fort, so let's do that. That's a good picture. Would be if the lighting was a bit better anyway. But can't win them all. Somewhere down here. It'd be a shack in the woods. There it is. That shack in the woods. It's the remains of a shack in the woods. Having a ratatouille tonight. Alright. Right. That's way more difficult than it needed to be. Scorched and Super Mutants. Why my survival tent is at Grafton Steel? There was a reason for it, but... we shall see. That's definitely a crippled limb. I don't... Oh, it did count. I feel like that should have counted, but I'm not going to complain that it did. I'm going to complain that mutant hounds don't count as super mutants. Of course they should. 100% should. One more to go somewhere. Also, these windows are not solid. Which is weird. That was a dramatic end. Scorched and right away. How many scorched do I need? Quite a few. That'll do it. Finally decided to go to the 3 high-rise mansions. The ones down in the ash heap, do you mean, Peeling? Yeah. Hornwrights and the Garahans places. I'm sure there's quests that send you in those. Quite a fun idea, though. I am looking forward to seeing what they do with Fallout 4, 5. Not that that's going to happen before 2031. At the earliest. Still laughing my ass off at people responding to the, oh, it's been green lit and it's gone into production. No, it hasn't. It's been green lit. We already knew it was happening anyway, so the chances of it not happening were basically 0. So get back here, you. Come here and die at once. Gotcha. Yeah, that whole fucking, oh, it's such a big deal thing. It's really fucking not. Change is fucking nothing. It's gone into early production. By your definition, maybe, but I doubt it's gone into production by Bethesda's definition. I don't suppose they'll be much further along than maybe having the first piece of music written for it. Probably not even that. Yeah, maybe. That's the first thing they do is a tonal thematic piece of music. If you go back to 2018 when 76 was announced and Starfield and TES 6, they had those trailers for Starfield and TES 6, which had like very, very small bit of imagery and a piece of music. And the music was their initial starting point in both cases. Thing that they did first, because they always do that. But in that case, they actually used it. And to give us the same tonal vibe that they were working on. Oh, we're over the line. Wonderful. Let's go scrap some stuff. Actually, there's a bench here, isn't there? Right. Right away, Rad-X. Antiseptic and gulpers. So I think we can probably get a bunch of that by going to the White Springs Golf Club and having a little run around. I want to go to the golf club, come on. White Springs. You stalling, fair enough. No, it won't be anything like 76. It'll be more like Fallout 4 than it will be 76. It'll be a single player, open world RPG, only with much better graphics, obviously. It definitely won't be a multiplayer. They'll redo a lot of stuff and redesign a bunch of stuff like they did with the power armor and things like that between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. They'll do a similar sort of scale of overhaul between Fallout 4 and Fallout 5. And even more so on the graphics, I should imagine. Mind you, the graphics overhaul was pretty fucking massive anyway there, as you would have expected, going between 2008 and 2015. Got a couple of them then. I didn't bother. Well, that one killed himself without my even bothering. That one interrupted my animation but still took the damage. Right, making a bit of progress, slowly. Tablespoon? No, thank you. It's not just a profit chasing thing, although I'm sure they don't mind that either. It's the fact that they take a lot more work to make these games. No. I'm not playing 16-bit psych anymore. It's a mixture between players screwing themselves over and devs screwing themselves over, and companies as well, really, with it. Because all of them together want the next game to be bigger and better than the last game. And there becomes a point when you're absolutely fucking yourself into a corner, because just where the hell can you go? You get diminishing returns, you get insane amount of work required to make a small amount of headway, and it just gets crazy. But it's definitely a team effort on that point. Hey Steve, how are we doing? What was the location? I didn't catch it, to be honest. Everybody else did. Or I blanked on whatever it was. Also the same reason we have really buggy-ass games. If you look in particular, people love to point at Bethesda for having buggy games. But everybody, and I do mean everybody, who makes an open world game, especially if it's like a complex RPG type thing, doesn't matter what company it is doing it, how many thousands of people they have to throw at it, in the case of people like Rockstar and Ubisoft, they still end up launching a relatively buggy mess. Everybody, doesn't matter if we're talking about small developers, big developers, somewhere in between, always happens. And it's because what they're making has so many more potential places for something to go wrong due to its complexity. A bike versus a car. One of these things is easy to maintain and repair, and the other one ain't anymore. There's a heck of a lot more that can go wrong with it. Now we all want Koenigseggs, and we want them for the same price as we were paying for our Mini Coopers. Maybe taking that analogy a little bit too far now. Yeah, I was definitely melting, Steve. Yeah. it's a bit cooler today than it has been, which is why I'm taking a shot at it. But then again, it's going to get warmer again tomorrow and for the next sort of 5 days, so we'll see how that goes. I want to play games. I wanted to play Take Me Grail earlier in the week, but no way could I cope with streaming in the heat that we've had. And I just plain got myself screwed over with time on Monday anyway. And I want to play Dead Space as well. But again, I don't want to like melt into a puddle on the floor during the process of doing that. Somebody's shooting up outside the hotel. Anyway, you ain't. Yeah, I love the railway system, particularly like the metro and everything in Fallout 3. I had a conversation with, I've regaled you of this story before, but with one of the guys at Bethesda about this. One of the community managers. Formerly community manager, he's somewhere on that side doing something now, but it's not external facing. He got promoted. But yes, I was discussing some of my ideas, what I thought would be amazing for Fallout 5, since we'll probably have the technology to do it by then. And he was very, very wide-eyed when I did, which included a lot of talk around the New York Metro. So I don't know if the wide-eyed was because he really liked the idea, or if it was because I was a lot closer to something that they're working on or will be working on than he expected me to get. It could just be I had an uncannily good guess, but because at the time they were, you know, they'd obviously been bouncing ideas and plans around internally, but not actioning anything at that point. So I could have been crazy on the mark. Would probably have gotten a quite wide-eyed response if I was, but then so would a really cool idea. So fuck knows. But yeah, the things you could do with New York, post-nuclear New York, has a lot of potential to be really freaking cool. You know, it's on the harbour, and if a bomb lands just outside of the city in the ocean, the subsequent flooding could do a lot of unique damage to the city. There's the metro system. You could have basically almost mini open world, more open zone in a way. Although ideally open world. Or without the loading screens, I mean. And then move between different sections of the city, and the only way to get between them is to go underground because of the debris and fallen skyscrapers and shit, and also the fact that there's the river in the way as well. And yeah, really lean into the metro system, open that up, and make it the main way to get around, and then underground people living in the tunnels and all that stuff. A little bit of metro in there, you know. There's a lot they could do with that. Different districts, each have their own flavour and stuff. There's so much potential around the idea. And New York, in some ways, has been done to death in video games. But not like that, it hasn't. Not if you bomb the crap out of it. Not advocating for, literally. FBI agent. But as a video game concept, you could do a lot with that. Yeah, you got a good response. Or it got an intrigued response anyway. Alright, that way. That's one that'll do. Nice, there's the antiseptic. What do we need? Just gulpers. Oh, cool, we are over the line. I thought that might do it. I suppose the gulpers will respawn, but if they haven't... well, no, we'll deal with them in a bit. Where am I living now? Up near Helvetia, aren't I? Yeah, there we are. Yeah, we want dead necromorphs, not dead me, I think, now, if humanly possible. I'm playing Dead Space. I obviously have to close the window and stuff if I'm streaming and if it's just that hot, it's just not good. I'm getting by okay today, and I've got a fan going under the desk, but eventually it just starts swirling hot air around the room, and that's no fun either. Right. Yeah, I think there's a lot of very, very Fallout stuff that they could do in New York. Of course, there's a lot of chatter about going further south towards like New Orleans and possibly Texas, or maybe even into Florida or something like that. But I don't know. I think you could do a fucking lot of cool stuff with New York without having to deal with the issue of it being done to death, you know. If you look at what, I'm going to count a little bit on the risky side here, but what CDPR did with Cyberpunk, in terms of a massive city for an open world, and doing, to be honest, a really good job of it. You know, initial issues notwithstanding, but as far as the concept and the world goes, Night City is amazing, and always was from the get-go. What am I doing? Yeah, so there's inspiration that could be taken there from a massive city as an open world game. Daily, I do want dailies, don't I? Come on. Big fish, small pond. There we go.
Could you lend me a hat? Aye, that ain't.
Savage Divide. So these are the event challenges: Cranberry Bog, Forest, Maya, Drunk, Catch Fish in General, 76 fish, me sideways, collect bait, that's not too terrible, regional fishing challenges, craft a replica rod, kill Mirelax. Do the rod right now. Touch it to your rod, mother liquor. Cool. Now, lads, Savage Divide was where I needed to go, wasn't it, for the daily? Yeah. That would be a good spot in the Savage Divide. Spruce Nod Lake. Oh yeah, hang on. We have a look at this. That's the hat we need to be wearing, and it's free. I've already got it, but it's free. These are locked until I get a certain amount of rewards. So I have to claim 84, presumably. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I have to get tickets. I don't know what point they unlock, actually. I guess I have to work my way through the list, do I? Bit by bit, because this is really what I want. I mean, I want most of it, but... Right, he said down there, but I don't really want to fish there. What would be more interesting? So yellow sandy still would be more interesting, I think. Do we have window units? No, we don't. You can buy portable air conditioners. and literally stand in the corner of the room or whatever. And some of those you can connect to your window and stuff. But yeah, as I've said any number of times, they're several hundreds of pounds, and you normally only use them for a couple of weeks of the year at most, and they're bloody expensive to run. Oh, okay, you got me. So I tend not to bother with the idea, but that said, it becomes more and more often lately that we're having this level of heat, so prospect is more appealing. Of course, the irony... Oh, that's really cool. I speak for myself and no respawns when I say I want this bloody thing putting in the game, this particular caravan for us to build with, but without the frickin' wheel arch in it. Otherwise, leave it as is. Just take the wheel arch out. Is that a bobblehead? It is. I was going to prattle on about that. Oh, yeah. Aim right. Yeah, the irony is that the more you use an air conditioner like that, or air conditioning in general, the more we're contributing to global warming, and then the more we're going to need one in future. So we're kind of, you know, screwing ourselves over. Not that... oh, I've got 48. Okay, let's see what we can get. Yeah, not that we're really the problem. It's... big old companies that are spewing out God knows how much to produce coal-fired power stations and the like that are really the problem, amongst others. Still. I just had a thought. I'm not going to bother wasting my improved stuff until I get upgrades from a rod. I wouldn't think India would be the best example ever, to be honest, Steve, but in principle, yeah. Going elsewhere is definitely better. I think it's been a bit cooler today, but it's been double the humidity, so it's still been oppressively unpleasant all day. Yeah, exactly, Steve. Just realised something. And I imagine some of the more humid parts of the south of the US are somewhat similar to what we have here. Even worse, given it's even hotter. But, yeah, it's the thing, really. Trapped heat and huge amounts of humidity. My grilled fish, again, it has, bugger. Grilled fish has rotted. Thank you very much for the membership there, Yarly. I appreciate that. No, need to get the extra L in there correctly. Oh, come on in, I do appreciate. if you haven't already, head on over to the community tab on the channel. There's a whole bunch of stuff for you on there now. There is no cooking station here. I was hoping otherwise, but assuming it won't let me put my tent here. Probably let me do it up here though. It works. There's something that's good that's coming in the next update as well. We'll be getting the ability to lock things so that you can't accidentally scrap them. So I think that's what they're trying to imply with some of the stuff there. Could be a nice little addition when it comes along. Even grey? Oh, for God's sake. Get in my basket already. Yeah. Underestimating the trapped heat and sweatiness factor, though, feline. If it's your preferred temperature. I mean, we've had a few days where it's not been quite so sweaty, and I've actually quite enjoyed the temperatures, but at least outside of being in here where it's, you know, enclosed and sweaty. And also considerably hotter than the external temperature because it's all trapped in here. And then there's lights and computers and what have you. One more. Nice. Where is it? There it is. Here's my throat. Nice. Okay, so they're dumping in my nope private world there. Yeah. It's the opposite, same but opposite thing to what we have going on in winter. We're not really geared for more aggressive winter weather either. Which doesn't work very well because, again, we only get it for a couple of weeks out of the year. You see, like, Norway and Sweden, what have you, just dealing with meters of snow like it's nothing. We get a few inches and we're just not geared towards it. Just shite there as usual. Oh, sugar. Okay. Right, let's go sell some stuff. And drop a few pounds. We'll see where we go from there. I imagine you would, Gray, until the water quantity of the air triples or more, and then suddenly feel like you're breathing soup. Cold, well, I was going to say cold soup, but it's not tepid soup. It's not soup, though. It's just pure sweat, really. Trying to breathe with your face buried in somebody's armpit. That's what it's like. Except it's all over your body. I'll stop talking now. It's getting way too unpleasant to think about. Yeah. Cool. Right, kill Mirelax. They're not worth a great deal, are they? But I can... 20 Mirelax? Do I really want... Well, I can make a start on them at least, can't I? Where am I going to find a shitload of Mirelax to kill quickly? Let's start there. $41. Oof. Yeah, August is not usually our hottest month of the year. I think it's easy to assume it would be, but I think like June usually ends up being worse.
Yo, how you doing?
Fuck you, Fallout. Fuck you. Fucking bug man is so annoying. Shit, I'll turn it off, can't I? That bloody camera bug where it won't go, you can't change the height of it, is one more reason why I'm not enjoying playing the game at the moment, because I use photo mode a lot for a lot of things. Usually video related, but you know, still. But a number of times it's like, oh, you can't take a photo, because you just can't get the camera where you need to. It's right off, come on. Presence of the Mirelurk eggs kind of implies the Mirelurk Queen moved through this area not terribly long ago, doesn't it? Which begs the question, how did the good folks at Foundation deal with this information? Because it's not like they'd have missed it now, is it? Exactly inconspicuous. A week of rain, fun times. Still, 32, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I had windows open and fans going the whole 9 yards the last few days. You mean anybody from Arizona wants some rain? Yeah, I'd imagine they would. Especially if they would like to have a garden. I assume you have to have a desert-themed garden. As opposed to, like, lawns and things. We've got friggin' hosepipe bans going on at the moment. Droughts going on. Pretty sure where I am they announced it was considered a drought. The other day. I think I saw. You will start complaining when it floods, though, let's be honest, because it doesn't matter what it is, where there is always something to complain about. You get exactly what you asked for, it'll still be a reason to complain. We are no different over here. I really had to look round in here, I'm just kind of curious. If I have, it was a very long time ago. Do they have a bathroom that is not the ensuite? So unless this... Yeah, they do. It's down here. Okay, fair enough. It's actually uncannily like my house. The inside of that. The main bathroom is an ensuite. There is a separate space downstairs. It's oddly familiar. How many more lurkies do I need? 2. Nice. $94 nuclear grenades. That would do it. Yeah. It's fine. What's wrong here? Most of them are gravel. Yeah, I can imagine. Although, I don't know that that'd be much of a blessing, except for the fact you don't need water for it to grow. In that, you walk out on that, especially if you've ever got, like, anything remotely approaching uncovered feet, you kick some gravel onto an uncovered part of your foot. That shit's gonna burn, I would think. Assuming sandals or something like that, or flip-flops or something. Right, that's that one done. There's a bunch of fish. Varying locations. Also possibly while drunk. Now, I don't have the booze for this, I don't think. Might have to have a think on that. Green gravel. That is interesting. Artificial lawns that aren't too plasticky and won't melt, I could imagine people do a lot as well. Yikes. Mid-20s. It's supposedly 18 degrees outside at the moment, according to my phone. But that is today being the lowest we're going to see, like a 10-day span or so of this. Based on what I've seen so far, anyway, on the forecasts. We'll see what happens. More crap in me than that. Right, beer. Buy some beer. Do I have beer on me? No, I think I sold what I had. Alright. Springs Refuge. To the bar, Batman. Yeah, I wasn't thinking entirely barefoot. I was thinking, like, at least something like sandals on your feet. Yeah, I can imagine. And the tarmac's sinking under your feet because it's melting. And you're just kind of sinking into the pavement. It's not really what you want, is it?
To relay their problems if desired.
Wow, they've really gotten set up here.
That's probably enough,
There's a lot
right?
of supplies here that look ripe for the picking.
Wines are sold by the glass, bottle, and case.
Let's just get all of it, just in case, because running out would suck. Good place to fish in the cranberry bog. It's not going to be awful. Yeah, about that. Shoes melting. Yeah, I think I've seen pictures of that. Yeah, cheap plastic shoes melting at the very least. Maybe not so cheap. Yes, well, Lord of the Rings was meant to be built around the concept of uniquely British mythology. Chasing you down, catch. Shit, where is it? Boom, there it is. No point in really worrying about the weather, is there? Improve my chances of getting rare fish, but I won't be able to bloody reel them in anyway unless I get upgrades to my fucking rod anyway, so I'm not going to bother worrying about it. Mordor for 3/4 of the year. Well, in fact, you're probably further south than Mordor. Harad or something like that, I would guess. Is that supposed to be the deserty lands to the south? Have you ever seen any of those maps people have done where it's like, oh, I need to be drunk, didn't I? Putting the Hobbit's journeys or what have you overlaid on maps of places in the real world. Let's see if that counts. I don't think it will, but you see, like, the journey from the Shire to Mordor is like walking from fucking Nebraska or something to Miami by going all the way across to the coast and then down. Not in a straight line, you know. Straight line, you'd probably have to start Seattle or something. It's an interesting thing to look at. Oh, yeah, your account's intoxicated. Wonderful. Somebody asked me in the comments the other day, how did you get intoxicated? I know they meant in the game. Well, they did mean in the game. Yeah, most was just basically the same way you do it in real life. The usual. Drink a shit ton of booze. Yeah, I can imagine missile launchers are definitely not what they used to be. I used to have, I remember having one incident where I was at one of the power plants, one with an M, halfway up the forest. Somebody decided they wanted to PvP me and they were being annoying at it, and I was just not in the mood for it. So their smart assery got paid back by me pulling out a quad barrel missile launcher with a targeting computer on it. And I just locked onto them and fired. They're trying to outrun these missiles. It just wasn't going well for them. I've been a pain in the neck and they kept coming at me, and then I just kept blowing them away, and I think they stopped having fun quite quickly. I got what I wanted in the end, I think. And then I left them to it. But I don't imagine that'll be the case anymore. Whiskey gets you drunk for 3 minutes and alcohol doesn't stack. That sounds about right. Very unrealistic that alcohol doesn't stack, because as we know from real life, alcohol absolutely does stack. Yeah. Practical for making videos is my main reason for pulling up first 2.9. I don't mind the peace and quiet either, which makes life a lot easier. Exactly, no. How to get drunk last Tuesday? It's a pain to stay drunk but not addicted. Yes, I can imagine. Oh, I'm here now. You know what they should add for a dose of realism? A very small percentage chance, very, very small, that drinking vintage Xion has you wake up in Atlantic City. Because, you know, knocks you out and then you wake up some random place on the map. Make it Atlantic City. But a very, very low percentage chance. Only problem is it completely screws anybody... Well, no, you can fast travel back, I think, can't you? As long as you can get back, that'll be the big question. So what the fuck did I do? Where the hell am I? I'm in another city. So that's going okay. That's the Cranberry Bog one done. Maya. Go do the Maya. Yeah, Fireball's a funny one. I quite like it, but I know a lot of people don't. Thought the thing had frozen for a minute then. The mutant hound in a bridle again, yeah, something like that. At least a ghoul, anyway. Or a super mutant in general. Hey, I'm not getting out of here with that one, am I? Short of a miracle. But it turned out to be worth it. Yeah, come on. Get in my belly. Holy shit, that's a big fucker. What's that? It's a gulpy. I think I've seen one of those before. A fucking big fish. Oh, that was worth it. A glowing gulpy with common bait in clear weather. Maybe I should buy a lottery ticket. There's a glowing fish. What do I need in the Maya? I just need an ordinary gulpy now. Oh, God's gobstoppers, interesting. Yeah, one of the rarest ones in the area, that one, though. I haven't seen that one before. Got what button I needed then. Oh, I think I'm drunk either, am I? Ah. Yeah, definitely don't want to spend too long chasing fish myself. I'll be to sleep before long. Yeah, definitely will be cheaper, Steve. long since past the point where I go out to get drunk. I now go out and get drunk instead of to get drunk. It's a subtle difference, but it's important. Probably 75% to 80% of the time these days I'm drinking Guinness when I'm out. So one thing I have noticed that's changed over the last 20 years, more people can pour a decent Guinness. Or at least half decent. Still get the odd one that's crap, but you're more likely to get a decent one now than, whereas in the past it was, you know, definitely a coin flip as to whether or not you're going to get a good one or a shit one. If you weren't familiar with the pub and the bartender, anyway. These days, it's more like, yeah, probably 75% to 80% of the time it's good. And of that 20%, it's probably tolerable for 10% of it, and then only about 10% left where it's actually bad. Which is definitely a change. Yeah, increase in popularity will have a lot to do with it, I think. Ooh, it's getting warm in here now. What's going on? No, tiny little other side. Okay. I feel like I've caught more fish than that in the mire, to be honest, but anyway. This pub around the corner from me has at least one stout on, I think, that I've never heard of before. And I keep looking at it thinking, maybe I should give it a go. And then I buy a Guinness anyway. Part of the point of buying Guinness is I know I enjoy it. Whereas other things I can end up you know, taking a bit of a gamble on. Yeah, those are universally terrible. See, those bloody, whatever the fuck they call them, surge cans or whatever they're called. The places that tend to have them, I've noticed, at least around here, tend to be places that are like, they're not places you go for the drinking, you go for another reason. So like, it might be a music venue that happens to have a bar or something like that. You're definitely not there for the quality booze. Places that you are there for the quality booze usually don't do that, but yeah. Not the biggest fan of Guinness in cans in general now, but sometimes, again, it's finding something decent to fetch home. It's, you know, doesn't ask you to pay through the nose for it as well, and the way effect on. That's usually why I'll have a Guinness at home if I will out of a can. I don't want to drink it out of a can anywhere else. I had a laugh a few weeks ago. I went down the corner shop to grab a few beers in when my mate was coming up. Yeah, he came up for the weekend, so I grabbed a couple of bits and pieces while I was there and grabbed an 8-pack of Guinness. He walked in the front door carrying an identical 8-pack of Guinness. That was a good one. It's just getting great minds on that one. They didn't last long. I don't think any of them were left come the morning anyway. Maybe one or two. Nice, there's another one off the list. Okay. These were 20. 76 fish will get me 100 tickets, and then completing all 3 will get me 60. That's... I don't feel like the rate of progress on that is particularly great. I need to go fish in the forest now. Where would be a good spot in the forest to fish? I feel like it might be the middle of the night. No, it's the middle of the day, okay. In that case, somewhere good with an open southern aspect in the forest. He's swinging around a little bit, so... Or Deathclaw Island. That might be a good spot. Maybe. Sun's over that way. That should work for me. Meant to jump over, not swim. Okay. Fortunately, I am a magical beast and I can literally jump off water, apparently. Allegedly. The things I want to check, well, one thing I want to check. Yeah, I thought so. Suppose it'll let me put my tent anywhere on this damned island, will it? No, of course not. Not too convenient and reasonable. For now. There's my grilled fish. I think I may have got a decent shot there. Realistically, I'm facing the wrong way, aren't I? You know what? See if we can't do something about that. Scabrous bit of water. There we go. You know what? Still don't like this bit of water, it's too horrible looking. Have I tried to jump off the tallest building in the game to see if I would die? Why does that sound like a Johnny Cash song? It's not going the way I was hoping it would go. Was it ever? I'm going back to Deathclaw Island. What I have done is jumped off of the monorail tower in power armor. I think that's one of the furthest drops you can deal with. Loss of forward momentum I don't get. Get that you can't use the jetpack anymore, but you should kind of arc downwards in a forward, continuing your forward momentum. You shouldn't just stop in midair like you've hit a fucking wall. I first noticed that effect or a similar effect in Tomb Raider, the 2014 game. It was 2014, the reboot. That when you were running, if you did a running jump and then took your finger off the forward button, you stopped in midair like you'd hit a wall and just dropped. Makes no sense. You should carry on sailing through the air. Physics and momentum and stuff. But it's just weird when it doesn't do that. How you doing, Jay? You alright? Good goat legs. You do it as an experiment, Taylor. Fair enough. Yeah, jumping off the monorail tower was fun. Even with my intense dislike of heights and having to look at that. That was a very long way down. I don't think I've jumped off anything higher than that. If there is anything higher than that you can jump off. Tick, tick. Apart from the 76 fish thing, we're actually doing alright with the challenges here. I do quite like that float, I just wish it was lit up. Bit of an oversight there in my view. Missed opportunity at least, anyway. Yeah. I like the combo I've got with my jetpack here. The backpack and the jetpack together look like they're supposed to go together. Something good there, ain't? Oh, it's a glowing piranha. I don't know if I'd ever caught one of those before. I'm now thinking, oops, pressed the wrong button. Maybe I did. Apparently I have. Yeah, it is. It's a blood whisker I've never seen. Gulpy, armoured spine fish. I've not seen that either. Or either of those two rare ones. Storm swimmers. Frankly, anything even remotely interesting in the Toxic Valley. Did it all on Tuesday. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's definitely the thing I want the most out of this, Steve. And I'm not chasing the 76 tonight. That's just going to put me to sleep. But, we'll wrap up everything else, I think, for tonight. Nice. So, that just leaves me with the catching the rest of the fish. And killing gulpers. Let's go and see if we can get any gulpers. I don't know if they'll have respawned or not, but it's been a couple of hours, so maybe they have. My ghillie suit's disappeared. I've lost it somewhere along the way. I don't know if I accidentally scrapped it or something, but yeah, some gulpers. I used to have a ghillie suit, and now I do not. One more. We got one more friend here. Can go elsewhere and look, but I'd rather not. But it looks like I'm gonna have to. That was a fun camp build. When the Brotherhood of Seal Porches set was first released, it was released independently of the rest of the set as an afterthought. Unfortunately, it set a bad precedent, but there we are. It's quite a cool set, so I went and built a mausoleum. Brotherhood of Steel mausoleum, because it had that kind of vibe to it. Using the that set. I did quite like that. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Don't think I want to do that one. All day. Nice. Got a couple of bits. Monkey's pitchfork and a hunter's mole miner gauntlet. Cool. Beep boop. Back we go. God, that was warm. Better than nothing, but oh, it was warm. I like my garden centre. It's come out well. Nice and colourful. Anyway, so not that one. That one. What we got here then? I can claim some of them at least. Improved bait. Okay, that's the only one I can do right now. They're not even in any sensible order. Oh, joy. One sugar-free Nico Shine. Oh, I see. Is that this the friggin' plushie? Lunchboxes. The really weird float. I might try before we head off. Cheers now. I'm quite happy with that one. So what have we got over here that can add a suffix? Marshmallow. Thought about that. Airway boosters. Superb bait. Ooh, and a fishing rod paint, which I'm probably not going to use, but I don't have enough tickets. Fuck me, I guess. Well, we're most of the way there. I'm assuming this will be the last thing on the list. Which is really annoying. If they'd done it in a sensible order, then that would have been the last thing on the list. And it would have been... Or if it just let you pick and choose what you wanted, but then people wouldn't engage as much, would they? I just need a few bits and pieces now from the regular season. There's a lot that's a high priority, but I do need some bits. Yeah, I'm not going through all of that right now. I've got the I haven't got the tickets anyway. Cool. That's fine. Anyway. For one shiny evening. Oh, I think that'll probably be a good place to put a pin in it, because I don't really feel like sitting there doing another, what was it, like, I don't know, 30 odd 40 fish or something like that I need to catch. At least as many as I've already caught, more than I've already caught tonight. It's quite long enough. He was just buffering for it. That's weird, Steve. Yeah, nobody said anything about it, so I guess it must be a weird thing on your end. Have you cleared caches and restarted things and such? Cleared your cookies and so on and so forth. That might help. It is a bit odd. Very strange indeed. cut on my hand, and I'm not sure if it was the cat or not. Probably was. There, though. Nah, it's quite a vicious one. A large fold of skin has been ripped up. Quite annoying because of where it is as well. Oh well. Yeah, that was reasonably productive, I think, today. Got through a decent amount of, well, got through all the weeklies and all the dailies, and all bar the really slow part of the event challenges as well. I don't know if that last one's going to get me over the finish line or not, or if there's more stuff to come. A second week's worth of challenges, maybe, possibly. That would certainly be nice as well. If we can get through there. Yeah, that was alright. Not too stressful and reasonable bit of progress. Actually, I'm going to leave that there. I think it was great actually mentioned this, but I could be misremembering. It's not mentioned the game Hell Is Us that is out next month, which I won't be able to stream because I haven't got enough headroom on the PC. But looks fairly interesting. But anyway, anybody who's vaguely interested in that, it's an action. I don't know if it's really an RPG, but adventure sort of thing with bits of sci-fi and bits of horror and loads of stuff like that drawn into it. It's quite a cool looking prospect. They have a demo out at the moment, or a new demo, I should say. They had one out back in June, but they've updated it and brought a new one out since then. So if you want to get a look at it before the game launches, it's up for the next couple of weeks, I think. That's on my to-do list at some point. Yeah, it could be adblock related, yeah. If you've got it blocking other channels as well, like that could still cross-pollinate. Yeah, I always have it switched off for YouTube and on for usually reading articles and stuff like that. And for like wikis and stuff like that, because as much as I appreciate those things, the amount of ads is just unbearable. Some of those things. So, yeah. There's a whole bunch of things at the moment, or there's a trend at the minute, where sites are basically saying you either accept cookies or you pay for a membership to not have targeted advertising and stuff. Or you don't watch or read or whatever it may be. And it seems to be spreading at the minute. They're basically trying to force it on you. So you don't have to take this, but if you don't want to have it, then you're going to have to pay for it. And my response to every single one of those is, fuck you, I'm not doing either of those things. And then I just block the site. So it doesn't pop up. It's usually on my phone that I get this, so I'll usually block it on my phone. I'm like, right, I won't read anything from that place anymore, or that place, or whatever it might be. And I just, yeah, down the list, get rid of them as they come up. Because I ain't playing ball with that fucking shit. You're not forcing me down that road. It's a really shitty way of trying to circumvent GDPR. It forces them to allow you to not have targeted ads, but they doesn't say that they can't make you pay for that privilege. So yeah, I hope the EU and the like will be getting on that and saying no, you can't do that to people fairly soon, because yeah, fuck that shit. I am definitely not going to be putting up with that crap. The Guardian was one that did it, and there's a few other places as well. One of the major games news outlets pulled that one for the first time today on me, so they'll be getting blocked fairly soon, I imagine. I might leave them on the list that comes up so I can at least read the headline, and then I can go and Google stuff if it's interesting and information that they've got. It's usually not, but yeah. If they've got anything interesting, I can Google it and then read the same thing somewhere else. Doesn't pull that kind of a stunt. Anyway. Yep, definitely winding down, Gray. Yeah, have a good evening. Yeah. Not sure what the streaming plan's going to be the next little while with the heat and everything. I may or may not. I will stream when I feel like I'm not going to die, basically. I hope to stream Dead Space tomorrow. There's my weather app. Let's see what we got. So it's threatening. Well, evening temperatures are declining. It's now currently saying it's expected to be fairly similar to it has been today. I don't know whether I believe that or not. We'll play it by ear, but the next week's expected to be... The weekend's expected to be about 25 degrees, and then it'll cool down a little bit into next week. We shall see. You see overnight temperatures are dropping back a little bit. Yeah, we'll wing it and play it bit by ear, but hopefully it'll be manageable enough tomorrow to play some Dead Space. I'd like to jump back into that, but we shall see. There's one company that has a free streaming with ads, paid streaming with minimal ads, and then premium, which is supposed to have no ads, and you still get ads anyway. Yeah, screw that. To be fair, there was some company that I can't remember which one it was. Maybe a cam, I don't know. There's a few sites that are supposed to have ads on them that AdBlock works on anyway. That are free, that occasionally I use. Well, above board, apart from they wouldn't be very happy about the ad block, but just what it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so fucking awful on occasion. I don't mind a reasonable amount of not horrifically intrusive ads that relate to the content of whatever the hell it is you're reading or looking at. You know, reading an article about games, a few not too obtrusive gaming adverts I can live with. But when they're blocking up half the screen, it's like, fuck off. Not dealing with that. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully Dead Space tomorrow, if it's not too unbearably hot. See how it goes. I will wing it. I'll post on the socials ahead of time, hopefully either way, but definitely if I am going live, then let you know. And as always, I will schedule the stream ahead of time as well. Probably not massively ahead of time, because I probably won't be able to judge whether or not temperatures can start dipping enough until like after at least 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So probably later on before I make a final decision, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, definitely want to get back into playing some more Dead Space. I was really enjoying that. Anyway, otherwise, I'm going to tackle a new video tomorrow as well. It'll probably be a best builds one. I'm not sure what I want to do camp-wise next, so well, I like my own builds, so I need a bit of time to ponder that one. But yeah, definitely a best builds one. Tomorrow, I think. Probably tomorrow. That's the plan, anyway. Yes. Otherwise, thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate the patience dealing with my erratic schedule with the temperatures and stuff at the moment. Yeah, if you haven't already, like, subs, notification bell, all the good stuff, I do appreciate. As I say, social media is the best place, the Blue Sky or Facebook, or not so much Instagram for streams, but for videos. I put Instagram stories up as well, so but yeah, follow me on there anyway. And you get better notifications, I think, than you will out of YouTube, because we know what they're like for not telling people stuff they need to know. Yeah, and if you haven't already, channel memberships always appreciated. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you for hanging out. Have yourselves a good rest of your evening. Look after yourself, stay safe. And yeah, join us for some Dead Space, hopefully tomorrow. And yeah, we'll get creeped out by not quite undead. Should be good fun. Damn good game, that one. Anyway. Until then, have yourselves a good rest of your evening, and I will see you next time. Night, folks.